Hello everyone, welcome back to the Apex Online Racing channel with the Assetto Corsa PC League. Another stream here today, and today is a very special one. Finally, after we had two pre-season races over the past few weeks, we will finally be able to start season number 5 in the very beautiful Formula 4 car. And well, I am Ycoms, and as per usual I'll be joined by Phil. Hello.
Hello, good to be back.
We always love it. And, well, yeah, we are a little bit earlier here today than normal. Do you want to explain why we are?
Well, we're here earlier because there's a little bit of introduction to do, I believe.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, every single season is a little bit different. And, well, we explained a little bit of the format. We will touch on that, obviously, a little bit today as well. But we will have a proper team and driver introduction here today of all 14, I think it was 14 teams in total. Yeah, we will count through them, and I guess we should really jump straight into it with these well, beautiful cars which are designed by various people. And yeah, let's start with the first team. Let's start with AJK Monster AMG Racing, consisting, well, most of the teams are consisting of 3 drivers. This one is as well Nicholas Domino, the lead driver. Very experienced guy. Got 1 win on his hand, 3 podiums. So, but he's not been so promising so far in a preseason race. So it's going to be interesting how he does. He will do. Then we've got Doc. One of the many rookies in this season, and the third one in the line is Non-Runner, definitely a very fast Finnish guy, not the only Finnish guy but who we will be watching out for in this season. So that is the first team.
And then moving on to the second team, it is another Monster Energy Racing. This is Monster AMG Racing, and the first guy in here is David Siskin, number 6, has had a top 5 in his 26 races. Nick Meadow has had a podium in his 22 races, and Heinze also has a podium and 38 races under his belt. Yep,
all of them returning drivers, so definitely an experienced team we've got here. Then another very experienced, basically, team in this league, Grey Goose Racing, which we always have seen since we started in season 2. We've got VSR Iceberg, though, who's a new addition to the team, who looked very promising in the pre-season races. Then we've got Dangerous Janetta, very experienced guy, got 1 podium under his belt in his whole career. And then Silver Arrow, who's been here for basically, I don't know, almost all the seasons, at least from what I can tell anyway. Only 1 podium though for him, so he's definitely wanting to improve that stat.
He probably will. Moving on, we head on to PCDC Motorsports. In here we have 2 race winners in Meekster and Tom Brino. Both have 1 win between them. Tom Brino has 11 top 5s though. In 34 races, so that's pretty impressive. And then they have a newbie as well in Zedian, who also looked relatively handy out there as well, so that's good to see.
Yep, definitely. PCDC is always a very strong team as well. They got WhatsApp Racing, consisting of 3 members as well, 2 rookies in that team, with Ginsha123 and Cheeky Monkey. Both have also been part of the preseason test, so it's going to be interesting how they do. And Astrid Asnan, you obviously know him, especially with amazing with amazing second races if we have reversed grids, which we will have in some of the races this season.
A little bit of a tease there for the format coming up.
Yep.
Moving on, we have Stark Industries, a returning team, very well-known team, but an almost completely new lineup. We have the returning Matt, 2 wins, 12 top 5s in 38 races, a very impressive driver. And then you have some relative newcomers. You have Erty, he's only had 5 races in the series, obviously started towards the end of last season, and also a complete newcomer. None of you will have heard of this guy. FizzyFan91, unknown to all, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, who even is that guy? So you know, we don't know how he will drive. He will drive. So yeah, we will see how he goes. Then we've got 2 Hoonigan teams coming up, Hoonigan 1 and Hoonigan 2. Starting with Hoonigan 1, we've got Berserkman, also a very experienced guy in this league, and he's got 1 top 5 last season in one of the Audi TT Cup races, which I remember where he was doing a little bit better towards the end of the season. Then we've got Dazzy Oz, very experienced guy as well, 3 top 5s for him, very consistent finisher. And we've got Season 2 champion Pops, who somehow won the championship in that season without even picking up a win, with 5 podiums in total. So it's definitely going to be interesting how Pops returns.
It certainly will. It's always fun to see someone able to win a championship without any wins, but that's what consistency can get you. Moving on to Hoonigan number 2, a very experienced lineup here, all with 35 races or more between each, I should say. Ricardo Macheda, Nostra. Nostra is a pretty cool guy. We know Nostra. He's had a few top fives, and he's had a podium as well. And then Microlander. Now Microlander is very quick, it seems. A couple of wins, a couple of podiums, and 4 top 4s, all in those 35 starts.
Yeah, Microlander could be a dark horse in this championship. He was doing very, very well occasionally on the preseason races, so I'm very, very looking forward to seeing him, especially. Then we've got a new team to the lineup. We've got Royal Blue Racing with also 2 rookies in here. We've got Marvin, which we haven't seen really much so far in the preseason testers, and Matthew Clip, which we saw a little bit. So it's going to be interesting how that team goes. Obviously, new teams, new drivers. We don't really know how they will do, so we'll definitely, yeah, it's going to be exciting how they do.
It certainly will. Moving on to a very exciting team in Neon Racing. In there you have Wilkie. But then also you have Exited, 4 wins, 11 podiums, 13 top 5s. That's very impressive. And then you have just Laxo, you know, AOR champion 1 time over, 6 wins, 12 podiums, and 14 top 5s. 14 top 5s. He's only had 19 races.
Yeah, it's very, very impressive stat. Probably the guy with the most impressive stats here in this field, and definitely one of the top favorites to win this championship. So yeah, well, for the constructors as well, Neon is really a favorite. But they have some, you know, some concurrents really coming up with Team Suomi, Sisu Voima, who started like, well, who came towards the end of last season, and he was just incredibly strong back there, and also in the preseason races, so he's definitely a very, very strong one to watch out for, as well as Sansuke, 26 races, 2 wins, 7 podiums, 11 top 5s, top driver as well, and Mr. Alcon, who has been really stepping up with his game, it seems like, in this kind of preseason test. So it's going to be interesting if he can keep that form for Team Suomi.
It certainly will be interesting to see over the season. Moving on, we have a 2-man racing team in Clean Racing Group. Xenon and Jeff, both with 12 races. Jeff has a win in those races with a couple of podiums and 3 top 5s. Xenon himself has a podium in those 12 races.
Yeah, definitely 2 guys who I know personally from the Project Cars League, so it's going to be interesting if they can live up to expectations, because they were doing quite well back then, and hopefully they can, you know, compete a little bit more consistently in the season. Then, second to last team, only team with 2 teams to go, we've got a rookie team, and well, with 2 drivers especially who have been quite, we've seen quite a lot with Quintin and Prox especially, so that's gonna be very, very interesting to watch. And Desmond, I personally know from the PC F1 leagues, so yeah, it's gonna be interesting how that will plan out. And moving on to the final team then, Phil, and it is a very strong one.
It is a very strong one. It's GT Omega RPM Esports. We have Keith Camilleri and Terence Gretsch returning. They have been teammates in the past, and they have been showing some fantastic pace in this car. Both have a win between them. Keith has 2 podiums, and Terence has 3 podiums. And then also in their team, they have newcomer Bernard Vella, who also is looking very good.
Yeah, definitely. He was winning. He won the preseason race last time out at Spa. And let's have a look a little bit at the calendar and talk a little bit about the format. So we have 2 different formats in this particular season. Do you want to quickly explain what those formats are about, Phil?
I can indeed. As you may remember from seasons recently gone by, there was the format of the feature race and the sprint race, where you would have 2 25-minute races, one based on the qualifying, the second then based on a reverse grid of said race 1 of that night, and we would go in. However, now we have also a returning format of the longer race, of a single race, an endurance race, if you will, that lasts an hour, I believe.
Yeah, it does, and it also gives the double amount of points. So it basically gives like the same amount of points that a single race, a whole race night really with 2 sprint races is gonna get. So those races are very, very important, and we're gonna start off with an endurance race here tonight as well.
We are indeed. Hey Chris, where are we?
Where are we? Well, we are on one of your favorite tracks, it seems like.
Yes,
you were really cheering for that one last week, and yeah, we are at Mugello in Italy.
I love this track. It has so much. It has such a nice flow to it. It has some nice elevation changes to it. It's got a lot of very scary runoff. That damned grass that no one likes, and gravel. That's it's going to be one to quite exciting, and a hugely long straight as well as on the pit straight.
Yeah, definitely. And we saw some very, very cool slipstream battles going on at Spa last week, and I think we will see similar here today. And I think, like when we were here last, I think it was in a Porsche. I'm not entirely sure anymore, but those races, oh man, those were incredible as well to watch.
They certainly were.
And yeah, I mean, we are even a little bit ahead of schedule. We really were very, very good with these, well, efficient with these introductions. Normally we take them for quite a long time, really, because, you know, we just like to talk about a lot of stuff. So,
well, you know, talking's fun sometimes.
Yeah, it can be fun. It can be fun, definitely. Otherwise, we wouldn't be here. So yeah, let's actually have a look at the practice session for the last 2.5 minutes. If I can get that thing to work, we can see basically who is at the top of the tables in this particular practice session, and see how they will go into the qualifying format, which has not changed from last season. It's still going to be the same format with basically qualifying groups. It's basically like the Super Bowl, but they only have like they only have a one-shot qualifying, and it's not going to be, you know, it's just going to be qualifying groups, 6 cars each, and yeah, it's going to take a while, obviously, all the time, because, you know, until the qualifying is finished, but hopefully we will see some action. And there we go. You can see there you can see the track. 1.5 minutes to go in this practice session, and we see a familiar face up front. We have got Sansuke from Team Suomi.
Yeah, he's unsurprisingly running very well very early on. He's one that has a lot of good pace. He had a few problems in the preseason races, so hopefully for him he can idle that out and finish strong, especially in this 60-minute race around this great track.
Yeah, definitely. It's a long race, but regardless, really, we saw some up and down battles. We saw some, well, interesting strategies, because, you know, we will see people pitting definitely once for fuel, because the tanks are not, you know, that large in this car. So yeah, it's going to be interesting, definitely.
And we're not far away from qualifying now.
No, only 40 seconds left. Matthew Klipp has just joined the session. And yeah, do we have 36 drivers in here? So 36 drivers is obviously the maximum we can get in a particular race. Are we at the maximum capacity today? Question mark?
Well, we have had 36 drivers in at some point. There have been 36 lap times set. I don't believe everyone is currently. Let's see, Matthew Klipp is the only person that is currently not in that has set a time.
Yeah, he's just joined the session like 2 minutes ago or something.
Okay.
So yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting to see. Everyone can finish their lap now. Sansuke coming around the final corner, and I guess for those who are not really familiar with the track, we will do a proper track introduction as we normally do on the first qualifying lap. There we go. Sansuke going even faster. 4 tenths ahead of Jeff, which really doing an impressive job there.
Yeah, Jeff, I just noticed, came up into second place as well. So that's a few people improving right towards the end of the session, it seems.
Yep, definitely. So we will keep that in mind. This 1:48.1. We'll see if anyone can beat that in qualifying. In this basically, well, in the qualifying where you only have one lap available, and it has to be a good one. And who's still on track? We've got Bernard Vella on track still. Such an impressive guy, really, as a rookie in the pre-season races, and he's currently in 4th. He's coming around the final corner. He's got a little bit of traffic up ahead, but he might, I think, be fine to finish this lap just without any issues. And it's quite a long, you know, way until the finish line. There we go. And Bernard Vella goes up into P number 2, just about ahead of Jeff. So yeah, very close up the top there. The top 6 only separated by a second, but still, it's a very, you know, not like in comparison to Spa. Really, this track is maybe not that known among all the drivers, but also like is also, I think, like a very difficult one to manage, really.
It certainly can be. There's a lot of tricky traction zones, I'll say, is a good way to put it. That just kind of catch on. There's a couple of blind corners as well that can be really tricky to get your head around at high speeds.
Yeah, we will definitely see that later on in the race. And yeah, it's definitely with these longer races. Oh, as Claessens, which is, by the way, Xeno 91 in the introduction we had earlier, just disconnected, so I'm not sure really what's going on there. But yeah, we can see the practice results once again. We got Sansuke ahead of Bernard Vella. Jeff exited, jumped up into 4th there at the end. Then non-runner Matt, Keith Camilleri, Mike Rolander, Tom Bridle, and Pops. Where is Laxo?
It doesn't look like he's here today.
Alright, that is definitely interesting. I mean, maybe we should have put an eye in the forums, really, because we might have even known that before that. So yeah, that is interesting. That is definitely, like, especially on a, you know, in a race that gives double points basically. This is not great at all for him, and his, you know, if he is actually planning to defend this, well, not defend his title, but, you know, to get another title.
Yeah, it certainly is a bit strange, but then if anyone can overcome missing a race, Laxo's going to be one of them.
Definitely. So 1:48.1 from this practice session was the fastest time. We are waiting for Nostra to give the go for the qualifying session, and then we should have some fantastic racing around this track very soon. And there we go. 1 hour, well, 1 hour qualifying. We won't need that, but we might need, well, like, you know, I don't know how much really, but we will need an amount of time. So we're waiting for the first few cars to go. There we go. That is the first one out. That is Zedian, one of the rookies. And we will see the other cars coming out as well in this qualifying group. We got Astrid Aslani from Wazab Racing. We got Silver Arrow from Grey Goose. We got Doc from AGK Monster AMG Racing. And we've got Fizzy from Stark Industries. Maybe worth noticing, Fizzy especially has been very busy with F1 League's placements. If you have seen that, maybe. So he didn't have any practice at all. He just told me. So yeah, it's going to be interesting how he does. And exited. Definitely a very exciting group here at the start of this qualifying session.
Thank you for perhaps for this lap. We should perhaps go on board with exited.
Alright, that's the final one, sure. Also a good drive always to see, like, what is the limit of the track, what is the, you know, how fast can drivers go through the corners. So you get a good feel for the track, and you get to know the track if you are not familiar with it. I certainly can't quite remember all the corners anymore, but and I don't know corner names at all on this track. But I'm not sure if you do. Do you know corner names? If there are.
Not even a little bit. I don't. I tend not to know corner names for most tracks apart from the F1 tracks.
Well,
and even then I don't remember most of them.
exactly. Like, you asked me quite a lot at Spa last week as well, so. Alright. This is the penultimate corner, if I'm not mistaken. Here, Exit is going through. Oh no, there's another, like, yeah, this is, yeah, okay. This is this chicane here, which we saw a huge crash between Microlander and Nosha, the two teammates, last time out we were here. I remember that one very, very well.
I remember that as well.
So, round the final corner, comes Exit to start his lap, and Phil, it's your task to give us one lap around Mugello.
Okay, and as you see, Exit opens up that final corner. He runs it wide to open up and then get on the throttle early and be as fast as he can down this straight, up this slight hill, the start of a little bit of an incline as you go all the way down now, braking soon into turn 1, just past the 100. Here we go, into the about where the 50-meter mark would be. This is a really tricky corner to get exactly right up the hill and then hang it over to the right to open up this left. Then you keep it a little bit left. You don't go through that corner as fast as you can because you open up this corner because there's a bit of a straight coming up here. So you want to exit onto this as fast as you can. Get as much speed coming down into this turn number 4, similar to turns 2 and 3. Open the left to open the right, run it wide onto that curb, and then this is one of the first blind apexes down the hill. Swinging out to the right, can't all the way to the right, so this will always be compromised. It's a tricky left-hander trying to keep the car all the way on the track. Flat out up this right-hander, up the hill. This is a brilliant corner coming up here. This one is so hard to get right though, up the hill, trying not to run out of the way, knowing just how much speed you can take. It takes a lot of practice. Into this, another blind corner. This is a right-left sort of extended chicane. Again, you can't take the first part as fast as you'd like because you've got to open up that second part. So there's a mini straight here, down into this. This is a really tricky braking zone. This is one of the hardest braking zones I know. And then you don't know exactly when to put on front of the corner. It just seems to go on forever and ever. Down into this chicane, left, right, flats out in these cars. Run it down fast as you can up to this final corner. Getting the braking right is quite tricky here because again, it's kind of blind. You want to open it up and then be on the throttle as early as possible without getting off the throttle again. Keep that momentum all the way down. Run it just out to the curb. There's a car coming to the pit ahead, so I'm guessing they're not doing a lap. I think it's probably Fizzy, but here we go, exited to cross the line. This looked pretty good.
It's a brilliant time, 48.3. That's only a little bit more than a tenth of what was the fastest time in the qualifying session. He's ahead of Silver, Aaron, Zedian, and Doc, and also Aslan the 5, who took time in this session, and we will quickly go for the next one in the books. This is Sansuke crossing the line, the first guy to go on his flying lap in the second qualifying session, and this is gonna be a very, very tight fought battle here for pole position. You would expect so, especially Exodus and Sansuke always very, very close together. Into turn 1 Sansuke goes. Very nice apex there. And trying to open up turn 2 and 3 as much as possible, as you said before. Taking a lot of curb, but not too much. Very nice opening for the lap there for Sansuke. And so coming in to corner 5 and 4 and 5.
It is. This is a very strong group as well. Actually, you got Sansuke in this, you got Matt in this, and you got Keith Camilleri. That's a pretty strong little. Little team. Matt, and it'll be interesting to see where Matt goes. And Sansuke, obviously, Sansuke ended up fastest in our practice session. So this is the man that you really want to be watching. Coming up the hill, blind, so close to being flat through that corner. It might even be possibly flat if you can take the exact right line. Trying to get the braking here is also tricky. You just don't know exactly where you need to be doing a lot of practice to get this right. Runs it out nice. This is looking very tidy from Sansuke.
Taking
I do believe.
Yeah, very tighter line than exited before, really. It seems like.
Yeah, well, this is the thing: is you can sort of take a few different lines through a lot of these corners, especially the hairpins and the long. Just to keep the corners to keep on going. You can take so many different lines. And there you go again, slightly different. Turns in tighter into his. He doesn't open it up as much, but he's feeling confident he can get the car turned and rotated through the left-hander. A little bit of camber, so it's not the hardest. It's not the worst decision in the world to try and do that. And he's obviously knows what he's doing because he is a quick guy and he was top of practice. And is he going to be top of one? Yes, just about by a tenth.
It's very, very close as we thought it would be, but Sansuke takes provisional pole position. Matt is 6/10 off that time for the moment. Goes third in the session. And there goes Heinz into 7th. There goes David Siska up into 4th. Ahead of Silver Arrow just about. And it is Evan crossing the line now as well in 8th. And Keith Cavallari, where is he going to end up? In 4th for the moment. And we will try to see if we can find the next group.
Evan just pipping Heinze by 1,000th of a second to take that, just pop himself ahead of him. And who is in our next group? Let us have a look. We've got Marvin Sluman, non-runner, Quarks, and Cheeky Monkey are all in this. Meekster as well, and whoever that is right at the front.
Nicholas Domino.
Nicholas Domino. It is indeed.
Coming into turn number 1 again. And I'm not sure where Nicholas Domino was in the practice session, but he obviously wants to do a good impression for his team, for AJK Monster AMG Racing, together with non-runner and Doc. Doc already set his lap in 8th at the moment with 1.6 seconds off the leader. For some reason, Sansuke is still sitting there on the track, I believe.
He is indeed. He's just having a good time. He's having a rest.
I mean, you are allowed to have a rest. That's very wide there from Nicholas Domino in the first part of turn number 7. I think I was in turn number 7 if I'm not mistaken.
He was a bit wide through both, unfortunately, I think.
Yeah.
Up the hill. Really nice. Oh, bit turning it too early there. Oh, that's kind of compromise his run through here as he runs a little bit wide. Not the most troubling thing on that corner because there's a lot of curb. But yeah, let's see how he manages this right-hander. You sort of just feel like you want to get on the throttle so much earlier than you actually can. He's actually taking his Ziggy's, compromised his exit to open up this chicane a little bit more than what Sansuke did. You can actually take a slightly shallow line into that chicane and still do it flat out. So let's see how he goes through here. He's a bit more tentative. He's keeping it sort of more traditional, and he's on and off the throttle there though. He's got to get on and back off and then back on again, so that's going to compromise him all the way down this straight. He won't have as much speed as he would have liked, but he's going to cross the line, and is he going to put himself up a relatively decent position? He had those couple of mistakes, but still was able to manage to get into 7th place.
Very good lap there by Nicholas. Who's the last one crossing the line?
Inkster crossing 13th, and then Cheeky
Monkey
just behind, but his non-runner.
Oh! Boom. We have a new guy on the top, and that is non-runner. It's very surprising as well, considering it is considerably faster than Sansuke. Nearly 2/10. Marvin Sluman goes 13th. There we go. And we will now have a look at the drivers who are now starting the lap, led by Tom Bridle.
Indeed. That's very impressive from non-runner. Pox in that previous group did not set a proper time, but here is his teammate Kvintin also in this group.
Yeah.
Coming across the line just about now to start the lap. We've got Tom Bino and Kvintin in this group, as well as, we'll know when they cross the line, Berserkmere is also in this group. And Dangerous Gianetta coming across the line as well. And last but not least in this group, I believe, is Jeff. I think Ricardo Machera might potentially be there. He is as well.
Yeah.
There's Ricardo Machera. There's your group for this one. But looking out for Tom Bridle. Tom Bridle, we know, quick driver, and obviously Jeff in this group as well. Jeff was showing some serious pace. He got himself up to top 3 or 4 in the practice session. Now let's see what he can do in his qualifying.
Yep, definitely. Jeff, who's sometimes really promising in this in this league. And he is, I think, 1,000th off the pole in the first sector, if I'm not mistaken. For some reason, my timing actually worked this time. Normally that doesn't work at all.
I don't know how to feel about that.
Oh, it's unbelievable, isn't it? So here is Jeff coming into this, pretty high speed section. And he's taking it very, very nicely indeed, doesn't he? Ooh,
oh, he's done it pretty much perfectly, I think.
Yeah. But he is half a second down. Yeah. He is half a second down.
I think there was a couple of errors just about through the chicane. I think another one there, he just went wide on the apex. So he's losing a bit of time in the sort of changing direction corners. See, running down here. See, that's again, it's a tighter line than Sensuki. He's not quite on the as a person on the grass. It's Dangerous Gianetta. He's not going to get a lap.
No.
As Jeff comes through that penultimate chicane, or final chicane, as you say, Tom Bryder across the line goes off into 5th. Kvintin goes 8th. That's a decent time.
Yes, definitely. And some other guys
should be Berserkwin next. There he is, up into 15th, just ahead of Marvin Sluman. But here comes Jeff. It's 4th, so it's 8/10ths off the lead. He's 1/1000th of a second faster than Matt to take that position. Matt gonna be disappointed with that Berserk on the gravel, having a good time, just chilling, much like he's. And Ricardo Machera, as I say, is in 18th.
Yep. So
who's in this next group then?
Yes,
Caesar. Pretty strong.
Caesar Weimar, Bernard Vella, Dazzy Oz, Nick Mido, Nostra, and Wilkie. But especially the top 2 there in this group, Bernard Vella and Caesar Weimar, some very hot irons for their particular team. And we will see how these guys go. 2 podium finishes from Spa last week. In here, Caesar Weimar finished 3rd, I think, and it was Bernard Vella who won that particular race. Going over the start finish line to start the lap.
Indeed, Bernard Vella was super wide coming through the final corner to maximise his exit, to get as much speed coming down this straight. In these small cars, these relatively low powered cars, it's very important to have as much speed as you can. It gains you so much time. Coming into turn 1 is I'm not sure about that line. It's an interesting line. I don't think I've seen anyone take it as tight as that from Bernard.
Caesar Weimar 200s down on non-runner in the first sector, but we saw, for example, Jeff being very fast in the first sector as well, and then losing time half a second in the second sector. So that seems like her non-runner really picked up the pace. It's going to be interesting how Caesar Weimar does in comparison. A little bit of the apex there. Still managed to carry a decent speed. Should be flat out for him. Yes, I think he just managed about to do it. So let's see. Next split time for Caesar Weimar, and he's up by half a tenth in the second sector. Caesar Weimar, this could be another upset for pole position here if he can nail these final few corners into the very, very tricky hairpin coming up now down the hill. Trying to take it reasonably tight, but he might be a little bit too wide really, which is going to compromise his exit.
I think that might be alright. I think that's kind of almost like a perfect compromise line, right in the middle, because you can take more speed down there. So it'll be interesting to see where he goes. And Bernard Vella is even slightly wider than he was. So this is a kind of a battle between these two. I think I don't actually know exactly where Bernard Vella's time is, as I don't have timing. But Caesar Weimar out the final corner, coming down. This is going to be potentially pole position. Is it? No, drops the 10th.
He drops
Still takes second though.
Yeah, very, very close. Bernard Vella comes across the line and he goes 5th fastest. It is so close.
That's close. That's so very, very close between them all. And where have we got? As he rolls across the line and goes 14th. And Wilkie, I'm guessing Wilkie must, Wilkie probably crossed the line. I'm guessing he had some kind of a mistake because he's only down 25th, obviously not even breaking the 2 minutes mark. So as I can see, and then Nostra, there you go, Nostra up into 9th.
Oh, very good, Nostra, very good to see Nostra in within a second of the pole at the moment. Up into top 10, very, very good for Hoonigan.
I know, this is Wilkie actually on the lap here.
Yeah, Wilkie, yeah, exactly. And then...
I think I said Wilkie probably had, because he's got 2 minutes 20, so I'm not 100% sure how he had such a quick outlet. There you go, up in 23rd, 150.8.
You think Astrodazlani makes that, and Cheeky Monkey, here comes VSR Iceberg, one of the very, very surprising guys really to start in the preseason race. He's been very strong at Imola. Imola? Yes, we were at Imola, weren't we? Yes, we were at Imola, yes. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, but then as well, he was, well, not that good really. So it's going to be interesting how he does here, coming into turn number 1. Who have we got as well in this?
We have Clarsons, Mr. Alcon, Matthew Clip, Pops,
and Microlander.
And Microlander. So that is, it's pretty sure we've got Microlander and Pop. Well, but it'll be interesting to see where Pops can do.
Yeah, Pops was at the bottom of the top 10. Ooh, that's wide. Might have already been it for Pops on this lap. 2 wide into turn 1. Let's have a look. Microlander 2 tenths down in the first sector. And Pops in the first sector is already 5 tenths down on the pole time. Let's have a look then for the second split times. VSR Icebreakers will be the first one to cross those. I'm very happy that those split times are actually working now. And he is a second down after the second sector, so he's not gonna challenge for pole position in this particular session. 1.4 seconds down is Evan Claessens. Here comes Microlander. Decent first sector for Micro. And he's only half a second down, so that could be very, very close. He might challenge Jeff here for 6th position. And
yeah, he's going to be putting himself in that if he continues. He's going to be in and around that sort of 6th, 7th. Basically, he in that sort of 7th. He should be at least top 10 based on this.
Yep, definitely. It's gone ball with him then for this chicane here, which is flat out. And then it's only 1 corner to go. We saw some pretty different lines here into the final corner. So, let's see how he takes it. Oh, very tight there, a little on the curb, which might have cost a little bit of oversteer. Here comes Jaroslav Iceberg round the start finish straight. He goes 14th, while Claessens goes 19th. And the next one to cross the line is Microlander. Microlander goes 10th. Yeah, he lost a lot of time in this final sector. Even though he's only 1/10 really behind Jeff. Pops goes 14th and Mr. Alcon goes... I couldn't see the time anymore.
17th.
Oh, thanks very much.
And then Matthew Clipp is going to be the last person to cross the line.
Yep.
Let's see what he can do. He goes up to 17th. So pretty much almost in the middle of the set of the he's 2 in the same group as obviously Mr. Alcon. He takes that 17th place in fact from Mr. Alcon by 0.02 of a second.
Yep.
But Chris, that's qualifying. Non-runner on pole.
And that is reasonably surprising, I have to say, but it's a full finish lockout in the top 3. It's unbelievable to see that, even without Laxo.
It is. And then there's Exited coming from the country of apparently Assetto Corsa. That's his flag. He is he's rocking the Assetto Corsa flag on the in-game table. Right, so I shall run down the top 10, and then I will go and do my thing.
Yep.
All right, so as you said, non-runner, Sisu Voima, Sansuke, the top 3, all Finns. And then Exited in 4th alongside Sansuke, Bernard Vela in 5th with Jeff in 6th, Matt in 7th. He'll be looking to go quite good from there with Tom Brynel 8th, Nostra 9th, very good from Nostra in fact, and then Microlander in 10th. Obviously teammates landing side by side, and I'm going to go and be a car that goes slow.
Yes, good luck, Phil. And we will wait until these, this formation lap is done. We will have a formation lap in this one. We will have a single filed start after Phil has done this formation lap. And yeah, it's going to be interesting. I'm very much looking forward to this 1 hour of racing. It's going to be, I think I saw earlier, 35 laps. So, yep. Very, very, very exciting times. And so hopefully we will see some good action. And we saw some, many individual mistakes at Spa. And that's because, yeah, we saw some drivers saying, yeah, the car is easy, like, to have a spin, really. So, it can be quite tricky out there for the driver, so they have to watch out and try to minimize the mistakes as much as possible, such as Sansuke really had last time out. And there we go, everyone's standing still, very good. I'm going to retire back to the pits, and it will be Phil who will hopefully lead us the way. And if I can find, there we go. And the formation lap will start. This is lap 1. Then we will have 33 laps of racing ahead of us here for round number 1 of the Assetto Corsa PC League season number 5. Racing in the Formula 4 car this season. And there goes the whole grid. Hopefully on a good and clean formation lap. So let's have a look at the top. Well, we had a look at the top 10 down to Microlander, who is in who is in 10th at the moment. Let's have a look who is behind him. We've got Keith Camilleri in 11th. We've got David Siskow, someone who's really impressive last week at Spa. I think, yeah, at Spa. We've got Quintin, the leading Condor car. Then we've got Pops. Then we got Silver Arrow, VSR Iceberg, I think the leading Grey Goose car. No, Silver Arrow is actually just ahead of him, so those two are pretty close together. Then Matthew Clip, quicker than his teammate Marvin. Yes, he is. Mr. Alcon in 18th, then Nicholas Domino and Desi Oz rounding up the top 20. And we will see the rest of the grid as well. We got Zedian, we got Doc, we got Carson's. A little bit, you know, surprising to see Carson so far down, I have to say. Evan Berserkmere, and there is Martin Sluman, which is the teammate, obviously, of Matthew Clip. Ricardo Machera, and Wilkie, Astrid Aslani, Meeksta, Cheeky Monkey, and Fizzy will round out the grid. Oopala. Oh no, actually not, because Fox is still there, Dangerous Janetta, and Heinze. So basically everyone down from Fizzy down, I think, did not set a lap time, so that's, yeah. That's it, really. Let's go up to Phil again, see how he does in his Lamborghini. It's apparently quite a cool car to drive, he said, the other day. So, yeah. And we're going through the chicane already, so it's going to be basically Phil will blast off into the distance and will give the countdown for the race start once the drivers go over the start. There we go, there goes Phil. There we go, there's non-runner waiting and holding the field up to wait for the race to start. Sisu Weimar in second, Sansuka in third. As we said before, Finnish top 3 at the moment. Finnish drivers very, very present in this league and very successful in this league over the seasons. And now we're gonna wait for season number 5 to start just in a moment's time. We're waiting very, very patiently and anxiously. When does Phil give the start for this race? And so we get very, very close there to Sisu Weimar. And we're going past the start finish straight very, very shortly. So let's see. Come on. When is it gonna happen? There we go. Phil has taken start. Sansuka already trying to get alongside the Sisu Weimar here. And it's very, very close between the two. And all the cars flying down into turn number 1 is very close, but still between the two Finns. And into turn number 1, and they go non-runner round the outside. Sisu Weimar tried to go up the inside and has taken the lead.
Yeah, no, they went deep on the first corner and has relinquished the lead. Sansuke under pressure from exited for third.
Oh. Very close, but battle down between in the background between non-runner now side by side Keith Camilleri and Tom Bridle. Keith already making up moves here in the first couple of corners. Round the outside, can he make that one stick? It's going to be very, very close. They're still going to be side by side. Up ahead, that is Microlander having a look up the inside as well of Tom Bridle. And it's very, very close between the two. And it's action galore here in the first corner. And there's the contact between Tom Bridle and Microlander. And there are some cars going round. And luckily only one other car hits him. Oh, never mind.
Unfortunately, a couple got caught up in there. There's actually quite a few cars off at the next corner. We have at least 10, I would say, cars caught up in something. Whether it was related or not, I'm not 100% sure, but that's a big off for a few people there.
Definitely. Top 10 though, still the same. Quintin got up to 10th. And David Sisk up to 11, so a lot of movers in the starter fist, but a lot of losers as well at the same time. So Sisu Weimar leading after the first lap here, coming around the final corner already just to finish it. And Sansuka goes all over the back of non-runner, coming down onto the straight.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. We got a. It'll be interesting to see because this is such a long straight. It'll be interesting just to see how powerful this slipstream is. It looks like it's pretty good. It looks like it's not completely overpowered, but Sansuke, that one on the field, needs to slightly go defensive. And that's going to give Sansuke a chance. He's going to try and hang it around the outside. Now you can do this because you're in on the inside for the next corner, but you're so compromised through here that it's relatively okay to hold the inside on there. And actually, non-runner, realizing he was too far back at that point, backs out to get a better run through the right-hand part of that chicane. That's going to leave him slightly open. I think he's good though. He took the good of it. If he'd tried to keep that down the inside and then had to back out even more, he probably would have relinquished the position to exit. So that's some good racing intelligence from non-runner.
Yep, definitely. To open up the gap to Zizou Weimar a little bit on this first lap. Well, it's not too much, it's not even a second yet, but Sansuke making a little bit of a mistake there out of that particular corner. And now it's really, really close between him and non-runner once again. Exited not too far behind. Bernard Vella up into 5th position. Good start there for the GT Omega RPM Esports driver as well.
Certainly seems to be. He's
No, Nostra away.
Oh no. Yeah, he's got it back going. He's going to be passed by a whole heap of people. He's down there into 16th, just behind Iceberg.
Yeah.
And Sedian just behind him.
Ah, that's a shame. That's the highest we've seen. Not Laxo. Laxo's in the chat. Nostra up really. He's having a huge slide once again. It has Nostra, and it is so difficult in his car. Sometimes it's just really the rear goes. The rear is can be very slippery. Multiple drivers reported that to us in the pre-season race. It seems like we had our first victim here.
It does seem to be the case. We had Tom Bridle off the track there with Mr. Alcon right at the back. A few people obviously quite at the back, obviously caught up in that early stuff. Not real non-runner. There you go. Oh, Suzuki, huge lockup. Bernard has been exited. And Bernard have come together. That's a crash for them too. That's allowed Matt and Jeff through exited. Comes back onto the track. Keith Cameroneri is going to move his way through as well. So Keith Cameroneri now ahead of his teammate Bernard Werner. And Bernard just also passed by Dazios, just pushed him out of the top 10.
Ooh. Lots of action. People want to make the moves. Stick. Ooh, very close between there again. But Bernard Werner, obviously. Race is still long. He can still recover. We know his pace. He's been very quick in the pre-season races, but that's obviously
Claessens in the background has just smashed off the track, just lost it under braking, swapped the ends around. He's now in the gravel, and he's going to drop a whole heap of positions because there's no easy way to get back on the track there quickly.
And there we go. And going to get passed by Tom Bridle, question mark, yes as well, and Mr. Alcon, who's behind that. That's a Mr. Alcon off the track again. Oh, he's going through those bollards. I'm not sure what's going on there. Someone has moved down. Oh no, wait, that was just my graphics, really. Who messed up a little bit. It's very close between VSR Iceberg and Nostra, it seems like. Or is Nostra? Oh, Nostra with another mistake. And he's gone past, well, Evan has gone now past. Evan up into 17th. Good start for the Stock Industries driver. I wanted to say Force Fizzy, but it's not Force Fizzy, obviously, even though it's the same colours. Sansuke with the fastest lap, just about quicker than Zizou Weimar.
Yes, indeed, yeah. Bernard Vella got past Dazios quite nicely, ran the outside of the downhill hairpin type thing. He got around there and then was able to get a better exit into the final chicane and pulled away from there. So that's very nice from him. David Sisko right up behind exited. Vincent sort of there. And Bernard Vella, a little bit of a mistake to tell on Bernard as they just switched onto him. Allowed Dazios back in, but not past. That's at least good. Although, as I say, not past. Doc comes charging through on Dazios and makes his move up into the 11th position. Very nice. Very nice.
There still has to have the field to go to defend that Doc. But he's now up into P number 11. It gets very close there behind Berserkmir and Astrid Aslani. Astrid Aslani from the back of the grid up into 14th position. Stayed out of trouble entirely, it seems like, in this starting phase.
Sometimes that's what you need to do in these kind of races. Especially in these long races. You do not want trouble in these long races. As you said, it's so important to just finish. And you can only do that, well, if you stay out of trouble. And if you actually do that, you can make up a lot of places from the back, as Astrid Aslani is showing.
Yep. I definitely agree. Seems like Banabella's now pulling away from this group again. That's not really surprising. Bezakme very wide there. Almost caught Astrid Aslani out there in the background.
He was overtaking the clean air on the inside.
Yeah.
So he did a good job as well.
Astrid Aslani.
Yeah, I think he was just showing his nose a little bit there, but it went deep, so that's going to lose him some time. Luckily for him, there's absolutely no one near him behind, so he can sort of do that and get away with it.
Sansuke with another fastest lap, again only 200 quicker than Sisu Voima at the top. Non-runner lost a little more time this lap. In the background, Sadian got past Iceberg there in the background, up to P15.
The question is, did he do it too early? Is this going to be like MotoGP at this track? If you pass them too early, you can get repass coming back down. He actually feels the need to go defensive. Iceberg's there, although Iceberg's actually run wide in his attempts to sort of do that. He's going to have a better exit than Evan behind. But here we go, he's going through in this. So yeah, Zedian makes the move stick, and let's see where he can go from there. Can he pull away?
No, I just noticed Niklas Domino is gone. Where's Domino gone?
Gone completely, unfortunately, it looks like.
Very, very unfortunate. I think that's a disconnection, or he had to retire from the race because of damage.
Oh no, there he is. There he is right down there. You can see him in 34th actually. So he has dropped way back. So I was looking for Nicholas, not Domino.
Okay. And ooh, Evan having a look there on
Evan having a look. While he's like there, he's still there. He's still got a chance. This is not the heaviest braking zone, so it's probably not going to happen here. In fact, it doesn't even force Iceberg wide, so he kind of only compromises himself there. Nostro, we know, has got pace though, and so he's going to be looking to get past Evan. Possibly going to use the fact that these two are battling to get past soon as Evan goes inside there. That's interesting.
Yeah. Seems like Evan feels very, very confident around this track so far. He's made up some position and seems very, very racy behind Iceberg here.
Yeah, seems to be the case. Someone else who feels quite confident, I imagine, right now is Jeff. And also Sansuke. Yeah. Sansuke has a run on Sisu Voima here, potentially. Sisu Voima... I don't think that's a defensive line. I just think that's the line that he takes. Slightly tighter in, and then he sort of runs it relatively tight all the way through, and it opens up this left-hander, which therefore helps this right-hander, and he's going to pull away a little bit. You can just see it. He's got a nice little line through there. I think he's found something.
Oof. Side by side between Dazios and Bezakmir in the background for P number 12. That is.
He is. There's teammates on team, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Look
at those.
Yeah, it is indeed. Both driving for Hoonigan 1. And Bezakmir getting through. Bezakmir again, like I said in the in the introduction, has improved massively in this league over the course of last season. He really stepped up his game and even got a top 5 finish towards the end of the season in one of the reverse grid races. He's up into P number 12. He's really he seems like he's taking better lines than Ducker ahead of him as well. And he's going up the inside, is he? Oh! Oh, he saved it somehow. Did you see that?
I didn't need this. He's going to give Dazios an opportunity. Oh man, they're all sort of battling. They all have a chance on each other, really. That's going to be wide from Zermi. Can he keep it around the outside, or is it going to be contact? Dazios is going to have to back out on the throttle on that one. That's going to allow Zermi to stay ahead, but that's given Doc a little bit of a breathing space just for the next few corners. But Sansuke, once again, sorry, I have to cut back in here because Sansuke looks like he's got a chance. Jeff also right in the back, you can see it in the distance. Jeff side by side with Matt. But let's see, can Sansuke make his move on his, I believe, teammate as well?
Yeah, it is teammate. This team Swami 1-2.
He's round the outside. See this, but now can Sisu Voima hold it, or is he going to switch it back here? So now he's going to have a better right-hander. Is he going to be able to make a move potentially up into the next one? He's not quite going to be close enough. I don't believe there's not really a braking zone into this next corner. You sort of have to be alongside in the head.
And he's made the move stick. Non-runner very close behind still. And the top 3 are really pulling away. It's, as Matt has gone past Jeff again. Then was he overtaking Jeff, or was he defending from Jeff there in the background? I can't remember exactly, but they are having a scrap for P number 5. Nostra again off the track. Again dropping positions. Now he's close to his teammate again, who had obviously the incident at the start of the race with Tom Bridle. Tom Bridle, by the way, back down in P26, or recovered to P26 after he has dropped out of the top 28 earlier. So it seems like the top three are pulling away, and then we've got Matt and Jeff pretty close together. Then Keith Camineri exited to drop down a little bit. We've not seen that, but I've seen, like a few laps ago, he was like a little bit further down than he was before. So he looks for recovery maybe as well. David Siska having another impressive race. He was so very, very good. Probably his best race really I've seen him last time out of Spa in the pre-season race. And then Quintin in P number 9. That is very, very good as well for Condor to see. And Bernard Vella in P number 10. He's got some work to do now. Oh! Berserkmere and Dazios very close, and that was contact on the rear tire from Berserkmere, and that has sent both of them round. And Zedian gets that position. Says, thank you very much, I will take that position. Can Evan also get past Berserkmere now is the question. I think he might do it. Yes, he does. Evan goes through on Berserkmere. If he can nail the braking, obviously, into P turn number 1, and that is P number 14 for Evan now. So not too bad at all. Oh, has Sansuke has had suddenly a gap of 2 seconds here. This white man Nonner must have had something going on. I'm not sure exactly what was, but yeah, something has gone on really. And also, hello.
Hello, I'm back.
Yeah, I had some issues as well with Discord, to be honest.
Well, I couldn't hear you, and you couldn't hear me, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. So,
okay.
Which is why the stream couldn't hear you, but you seem to be back. Hopefully Discord is staying with us now.
I hope so. I've been doing some great commentary to myself.
Oh! You saw Astrid Aslani dropping? Oh,
I did, yeah, that's unfortunate.
Oh!
Yeah, that's really unfortunate, because I was just singing his praises, how he was sticking really nicely to the guys ahead. That's probably my fault.
We like the commentators curse, don't we? We've done it so many times in this league as well.
I wonder if there's been a potential incident then, because, I mean, I'm looking at the guys around, and obviously, there must have been some kind of incident between perhaps 3 cars, because Berserkmere is only now just ahead of Evan. His teammate Dazios, who was obviously right with there, is even further back.
Yeah, Berserkmere and Dazios had an incident together, but that wasn't a previous lap.
Okay, so I'm catching up on things that I didn't see because I didn't hear anything. I was watching the battle for the leads.
Here comes Evan actually got past Berserkmere again, so he's now attacking Berserkmere for the 2nd time after he's already gone through on him in turn 1 last lap.
Berserkmere's just let him through.
Yeah, there goes Evan. Up into P13 now after Astrid Aslani went down the order. And yeah, Sansuga's managed to get Silly Weimar out of the 1 second window, it seems like, after retaking the lead. And that is very, very interesting indeed. Completely changed, really, so far in the first 9 laps. Sansuke very, very solid after we saw him basically spin 10 times at least at Spa a week ago, with setting the fastest lap of the race as well. But you know, it's not really going to help you if you are spinning constantly, and he seems to be do a decent job so far leading the race.
Certainly seems to be the case, and that's great news for him. Possibly bad news for everybody else if Sansuke is doing this, but yeah, that's some good stuff from Sansuke. Obviously, we've got the pit stop at some point in the next, probably in the next 5 or 6 laps. I imagine some people start to come in. Whether a lot of people will be aiming right for the midpoint, as we saw in Spa, we'll see. Obviously, a lot of people sort of in relatively close contention to other people, so could see some tactics going on, trying to get out of battles, just to open themselves up to alleviate that pressure on them. As let's see, who have we got? We've got Matthew Clipp actually with Dangerous Gianetta right now, seems to be the 2 closest cars potentially.
Oh, there we go, I found it. battle for P number 15. Both moved up places quite a bit from the back of the grid, especially Dangerous Janetta, but Matthew Clip might have a run on him now. Round the outside into turn number 1. Ooh, he's not going back to take the optimal line. He's trying to squeeze Dangerous really on the apex, does he? And he had a better exit, so aggressive move there from Matthew Clip, but he made it stick, so very good.
And that's Berserkmere off the track there. Berserkmere is just off the track beside them. That's going to be his teammate going through there. There's yeah, Nostra and both Microlander. I'm going to. Is Berserkmere going to get back on track? Or is he just? I think he's probably just waiting at this point. I'm not sure. He seems to be taking it a bit slow. Yeah, he's just waiting for a space. Here comes Ricardo Machera. And throw on Berserkmere as well. So yeah, that's that now. What have we got up the front? Anything? Non-runner looks like he's right there with Sisu Voima. Still sort of ebbing and flowing. Sisu Voima was quicker last lap. Sansuke was obviously the quickest of three of them. But non-runner looks like, I don't know if he's closed this lap or what, but it looks closer.
Could be a battle heating up for 4th as well. I think Keith is really faster than Matt. He's so close into that corner.
That is so close. I tell you who is quick though, the man right behind Keith Camilleri, exited running some very, very decent lap times as well, quicker than the 3 cars ahead of him on the last lap at least as non-runner. Here we go.
Yeah. After setting the fastest lap as well, round the outside, we'll see Voima lose another place round the outside into turn 1. He will do indeed. Non-runner goes past up into 2nd place, and it's the 2nd time in this race where Sisu Voima defended the inside and out into turn 1, was not able to hold it.
Yeah, and that's the brilliant thing I love about the track. You see it in bike racing, you see it in any sort of car racing here. That turn always provides the ability to overtake, whether you do it outside or inside. It is possible, and it always produces some great fighting opportunities as well. As first pit stop, Microlander in.
Yeah.
Oh, we were the first to pit actually.
Oh well, yes, but you know, does that count really? I don't think so.
Well, I pitted.
Oh, you pit? Oh yeah, well,
I didn't come out.
I just retired to the pits, so you know. And yeah, Microlander in the pits, and he's going to move hopefully very, very soon. That's Pop's going past. It's 26th place. That is not really good, I have to say. And Microlander going out of the pits once again. In Linero, crucially, although Klaasen's just gone past, but still, this could be very, very handy for him. Oh.
Potentially. Oh.
Marvin has just gone through as well, but
yeah. Not really what Microlander wants, but hopefully, well, Microlander I can only assume will pass Marvin relatively quickly. Sisu Voima is now back on the back of Sansuke.
Non-runner, you mean?
Sisu Voima, yes, non-runner, I do mean non-runner, of course I do.
Off the inside.
This is why you're here. This is the first time we see an overtaking move attempted on the inside. There's non-runner, he's going to slide, he's going to catch it.
Oof.
There's Sisu Voima.
Oh, Keith.
Thanks for that position. It's Keith all around the outside of Matt. Was there a little bit of wheel banging there?
It was.
Can Matt hold it around the outside of here? It's Keith. Yes. Oh. Finally, someone that held it around the outside of this corner, but that is going to compromise him. So this is the one thing. This is the thing that we thought we might see between the top 3 fight for this. But now you can't. Let's see. You're on the outside there. You can't really make a move, and all that's going to do is open it up. Exited. But no, I think X did not going to make it there. That's the thing, is a lot of these corners, they're easy to make the car ahead just go offline, but then there's not really much to do with it because all the next corners are all the wrong way. They're all the wrong direction for you. You force them out wide from one corner, you get onto the inside of that corner. The next corners, you're on the outside.
Yeah, definitely. And we saw some very, very good battling, but it seems like really Matt is holding up these people. Jeff is pulling away. And Keith Camilleri, and especially exited behind, are looking very, very, very strong. So it might be only a matter of time until they finally make a move stick against Matt. But we know Matt, very, very, very good racer when it goes side by side. He doesn't, he's not shy of doing any moves.
No, we certainly know that. Yeah, but it's sort of a shock actually. He's saying Matt's holding up these guys. That's not something you usually hear with Matt. So just struggling a little bit on this track as all exited in the background, just catches the curb, almost spins out, but he doesn't. So we got another battle again, non-runner versus Cecil Wong once again. Round number 10 million coming down into set one. Keith Camilleri has a chance on Matt as well. Well, let's see, non-runner. He's on the outside this time. Or the outside, I say this time again, but this time he's going for the overtake.
It's not going to work, no.
And this is going to open up this though. Cecil Wong is definitely very deep into that. But again, you get the run. Even if you got the run here, all Cecil Wong would have to do is just stay a little bit left. Having a little bit of a...
No.
Oh, that's Matt and Keith. They're round, and now Matt's going to have to... Oh, he's across the track. Bernard Vella has to get out the throttle a little bit, but it looks like they're going to get through. There's a big gap now between themselves and Doc, so...
Yeah. Nah, that's unfortunate.
That's really unfortunate.
It was the exact same thing again, but Matt was really close there, like on holding around the outside. I think Keith was surprised by that, and it just was really tight there in that corner. And it just touched front wheel to rear wheel, and yeah, unfortunately they had some issues there.
Certainly did. It's an interesting one is Matthew Clip. We saw him up there. We said he was doing a good job. He's down in 33rd right now, and I'm guessing that must... Well, yeah, he is a lap down. So that's interesting. Something's obviously happened with Matt at some point.
It's very... Oh, fastest lap microlander. There we go. Maybe change some tires as well.
I think perhaps that could be the case. Still down 27th, but yeah, 48.1. Clarkson's ahead of 49.5. It's not exactly slow from Clarkson's, but that's just rocket pace for Michael. And you imagine he's going to be passed quite quickly.
It's almost a second faster than what the leaders are doing at the moment. So if Michael keeps this up this pace, he might really be in for a treat there at the end of the race to make up some positions after, you know, after really good qualifying, but a very poor start of the incident with Tom Bridle. And he's very close behind Jeff now. You might even have a look on the inside into the next braking zone.
You might indeed. I believe that's Keith Camilleri in the pits as Evan and Zedian go side by side.
Oh, yeah.
They on the classes. I think he's got that move microlander done. Evan has got the move done on Zedian. Yeah. So Evan moved up into 11th. Obviously, there are a few cars that have pitted now, so that's something to be wary of. There's Doc right ahead of him. Doc's not going super fast right now, so Evan is actually going faster than catching Doc. Shouldn't sound so surprised, but I mean, based on the pre-season testing, Evan is showing himself very well here.
Yep, definitely one of the biggest movers of the field tonight so far, and it seems like really Sansuke has managed to gap Cecil Weinman non-runner a tiny bit. As both of them went through. Oh, is that in the background? That is Fizzy, a lap down already as well. Maybe has been in the pits already, so not really good to see that. So he's only 2 laps down, is Fizzy. So he's having a shocker of a race opener here.
He's just sandbagging to get a lower placement.
What kind of placement?
In the F1 leagues.
Oh, yeah, he is. No,
they came out today. For anyone that was interested.
I mentioned that as well.
You did. You were certainly interested, Chris.
I was.
You're gonna get hype.
Hype for the F1 League starting next Sunday, also on the Apex Online Racing channel. On board
next Sunday at 9, at 8.
8 p.m. All top tiers broadcasted. Some other tiers will get broadcast as well. I don't exactly know, but it's very cool. Tune in. Definitely worth it. On board with Fox at the moment, who we have not seen so far this race. He was very close to Heinz at the start of the lap, but he's now rather under pressure from... Oh no, that's a lap car behind. That's Matthew Clip, I think it is.
It is directly behind, but Nick Meadow pits, but it's actually Keith Camilleri not too far behind Tom Bryan. Tom pits as well. Prox, obviously, yeah, has Keith Camilleri behind him, so Keith has pitted.
Yep.
So that'll be an interesting one.
DNF'd?
Oh no.
It says Quinton DNF.
I'm probably... Maybe he's one of the ones that disconnected. We've seen a few, actually. We've seen 2 people. I say a few. We've seen a couple. Wilkie has also disappeared from the session.
Yeah.
So an interesting one is obviously all these pit stops are going. There's probably going to be I imagine people start to come in. Pretty much everyone will possibly be diving in the next 2, 3, maybe 4 laps. An interesting one to see is obviously Nostra right now in a battle with Dangerous and Dazzy Oz. Where will Microlander be related to them guys? Because obviously Microlander was with Nostra at one point, and then he pitted. So that will give us a good indication exactly where he'll be at some point. As so that battle's happening, and Evan has caught Doc. As what else have we got there? Well, it's not kind of watching the Nostra battle and then watching Evan is kind of what's happening right now.
Yeah,
Keith Camilleri on pot. As I said, Keith Camilleri is on box, and clearly has a faster car right now after the pit stop.
It's quite far ahead of Microlander. I wonder if Micro has taken tires and Keith hasn't.
I don't know, Keith's going pretty fast compared to the cars ahead. Maybe that's just natural pace difference, but it could also be the fact
30 seconds ahead of Microlander before the pit stops.
He was a decent gap ahead, wasn't he? I can't actually remember. There's been so much happening. As Keith just, drives past the box, so I can only assume there's something. Zedian is in the pits.
Yeah.
As Dangerous is side by side with Nostra ahead. Is he going to be able to keep that on the track? Yes, he is. He's got the car all under control. He's going to be able to get on the throttle early. And that's going to be the move done for Nostra past Dangerous Gianetta. As we are at the halfway point. So we'll see now if any of these guys jump in, because it's theoretically the most optimal point to come in. Yeah. But we'll see.
It seems like though, I don't know.
Although actually, maybe they'll try to empty the fuel tanks. Depends on whether they think that running on the lower fuel makes up for the tyre wear.
Definitely could be a factor as well. And let's see Classics in the pits. Microlander in the pits.
Oh,
again.
Interesting.
That could be that could be a stop and go penalty.
It could be. I'll see if I can see anything.
That would be very good.
I can't see anything.
Someone who's still flying out there is Sansuke.
No. Maybe he had some damage of some kind, I don't know.
Jeff and exited both in the pits now.
Oh, perhaps he didn't fill fuel the first time, because he's filled more fuel. I wonder if he hadn't put enough in.
Ooh, that could be a problem. And that is Matt in the
put
pits.
In a lot. Yeah, say he put in 24 litres, everyone else that's coming into the pits is putting in more than that at the time. It seems anyway, although Nick Nido filled 28 litres. So
interesting for sure. Where will Jeff come out? Ooh, he might actually just come out ahead of Evan. And he does not. Evan goes through, but Evan obviously hasn't pitted yet.
No, and obviously an interesting one is Matt. Matt has pitted.
Yeah.
And who's he? Where's he going to come out? Where is he compared to Keith? There's Keith back there. That's obviously they had contact between the two of them earlier. Matt, just a couple of seconds ahead, maybe.
Yeah.
Second and a half ahead. So that's interesting.
That didn't change, really. That didn't change.
Evan, as I say, so Jeff pitted, yeah.
Jeff pitted, yeah.
So Jeff is now the highest pit. He's the highest pit of the guys at the pit.
And exited behind him.
Exited behind, of course, right there is exited. Yeah, so this will be so theoretically anyway. Jeff should breeze past Evan, who hasn't pitted yet. Well, I'm guessing they all take tyres at this point.
I think so. Pit stops are quite long, it seems like. Zedian going past Doc. Ooh, Doc is slow there. Doc is not really having the best of times, it seems like. Or he has pitted as well, I'm not sure, but he's really struggling.
I think Doc must have pitted because he's dropped, because obviously he was just with Evan, and now he's all the way back there, so he must have pitted. It's not sort of, I would like a nice little just to who's pitted and who hasn't. Bernard Vella pits from 5th position. So that leaves David Siska up in 4th, so David Siska going very well. We saw that actually, David Siska doing some good stuff.
Yeah, and Spa as well, where he was finished 6th, I think it was, at least like in the top 10, well in the top 10. And there as well, it was a quiet race, but very steady, kept it all together, was very consistent. It's doing exactly what you touched on earlier, Phil, really. Just taking it consistent.
He is in Evan pits.
Yeah.
So here's Dazios. Dazios pitted?
No.
No. So that's good show for Bernard Vella then. So Bernard Vella, perfect, gets out just in front of the two fighting cars behind him. That means he's not going to have to worry about, obviously, these are sister teammates.
Yeah.
Running side by side. So he's got out perfectly. He's not going to get held up by them two squabbling. And that's going to leave him, anyone that's around him that might have been slightly further behind, if they pit now, they might end up behind those two.
Yep, definitely.
Because Mr. Alcon is passed by Evan.
Evan came out of the pits and was able to defend the position into turn number 1.
Yeah, very nice.
And that gives him P12, but it's obviously going to be a little bit higher even, is Evan, so you might even look at the top 10, maybe. Perhaps,
depends, I think.
Nostra is going to pit still, Dazios, I think, will still pit. Oh, Sansuke in the pits.
Sansuke is in the pits. So here we go, and there's an on-runner as well.
Yeah. And again, it's the same
very
thing.
Early, apparently.
Yeah, that's the same thing we saw. Ooh. Is Numran just having a very early pit, or is he just like...
I think he must be having a very early pit, because... Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Out we go. So his pit box is just hilariously early. I don't think there's even a pit crew there. There's Davitiska also in the pits. That's another one.
Yeah, and it's the same thing we saw like last time out as well. Not like last week, when we saw Sisu Weimar carrying on, and the other guys pitting early. So Sisu Weimar seems to be the one who just goes a little bit longer. Might need to refuel a little bit less than the others. That might give him an advantage again.
There you go, Davidson. Oh, look at that. Davidson comes out in 6th place, ahead of Bernard Vella.
Ooh, interesting. This could be very, very shaping up, because obviously Bernard Vella was on the charge after, after an unfortunate stuff that happened earlier. So I mean, he might be still in a decent position. Obviously, Nostra still needs to pit. And Mr. Alcon against Zedian into turn number 1 here. I think both of them have pitted, although I'm not so sure about Mr. Alcon. Zedian has definitely pitted. Mr. Alcon is able
I don't believe Mr. Alcon has pitted.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
And Doc just stays out of Dazios after that guy came out of the pits.
Yeah, that is true.
Sisu Weimar carrying on for another lap.
Yeah.
6 still. Very decent.
That's... I have no idea. Let's see. Sansuke's his first time lap out of the pits will give us an indication as whether this is the correct decision from Sisu Weimar or not.
26.7 seconds is the gap. Klaasen's disconnected from the server.
Yeah.
So that's very, very unfortunate. Lap
Oh, Sansuke. And I suppose, yeah, that of course includes the out time.
Yeah, that's
so actually, it's this lap that we'll see from Sansuke. Longrunner's quite far back, actually.
Yeah, he's lost a lot of time in the pits.
A lot of time in the pits. As well, Fizzy is sort of battling with Pops, but I mean, he's a completely wrong lap.
Yeah, both of them having issues earlier on. Obviously, Fizzy with not getting any practice in. He is further down than you would expect him, definitely.
Well, maybe not me.
Oh yeah, well, your Lamborghini is faster in those cars, isn't it?
It's faster in a straight line, but you can't do corners.
Well,
Zedian versus Mr. Alcon here. Now, can Zedian get past, or will Mr. Alcon's Mika Hakkinen tell him no? Mika Hakkinen uses the L on his forehead and says no to Zedian. You can't come through. Not yet.
Yeah. Zedian very, very careful. Mr. Alcon, I think... Yeah, did we say that Mr. Alcon pitted? No, he didn't, right?
I can't imagine he has, but I am usually very wrong.
Okay.
Jeff running some good pits.
Jeff already pitted, yes.
Yeah, sorry, just saying Jeff was running good pace.
Oh, Jeff was running good pace.
Well, I say he's running good pace. He's running the same pace as Sisu Weimar. And obviously, Sisu Weimar hasn't pitted, and he has worn tyres. Less fuel, to be fair, on CC Bournemouth's car, but still. Okay, so here we go. Sansuke is about to cross the line. This will give us a indication just how fast Sansuke can be. 47. So he is 0.8 an hour. Obviously, Sansuke was obviously in the lead anyway.
Wow, yeah, and fast and non-runner also with us 47.
Well, that's the main one there actually. Is can non-runner in the few laps that he's had fresher tyres, can he have pulled a big gap on season 1? I doubt it, but there's always the chance.
Definitely. I saw something else which I just forgot as you were talking about Sansuke. I can't remember, to be honest. Bernard Vella dropped down the order. He's now behind Nostra.
Oh yeah, 8. Oh no.
And Nostra is also someone who hasn't pitted. And
Mr.
Alcon. Yeah, there we go. To spot at the same time. And he's gonna move way down the order. Tom Bridle doing a good job at recovering after P16. Or what did you say?
I'm not sure what I saw. I think David Siska must have made a mistake when it corner. As I saw Nostra closing the app on David Siska very quickly, and then I got on board with Nostra, and he's just squeezing past David Siska, who's going very slowly on the exit of the corner. So I'm guessing David Siska made some kind of mistake. So Nostra moves up to 6th. Obviously, Nostra still has to pit. Sisu Voima does pit though. Finally, Sisu Voima.
I wonder. This is interesting.
I wonder if he's going to have... Well, yeah, I mean, I don't think... Obviously, Sansuke should retake the lead. The question is, has non-runner done enough to potentially close any sort of gap? We'll see.
Sansuke around the final
have my doubt.
Non-runner to final corner. Sisu Voiman moving now.
I think he should be fine. He's got quite a late pit lane. Pit box.
Yep, there we go.
He should be good. There he is. You can see non-runner though. Non-runner's going to be pretty close. I don't know whether he'll gained a bit. I think he probably will have.
Yeah, I think I think they were quite close together, but it was just the fact that non-runner lost magically lost 3.5 seconds in the pits to compare to Sansuke. So that's very, very odd. Nostra in the pits now. Final one to pit. I think after that one. Everyone has done their mandatory pit stop in this particular race. We will have 11 laps to go after that one.
You're saying well now. The one benefit of Cecil Vollmer pitting later is he should have fresher tyres to the end of the race than the two around him, so he should, in theory, be able to push a little bit harder. But it's not like these guys are taking it easy. These guys are all pushing it, just trying to get as fast as they can to the end.
And I'm very, very, very impressed that Nostra is coming out in P number 12 after we have seen him down in dropping out of the top 20 after starting from 9th and getting up to 6th in the first few laps. So he has recovered as well.
He certainly has, yeah. And there's Doc behind him, so he's got. Yeah, he's
jumped a lot of people.
Yeah, he's not only plain sailing. He does have a couple of guys that will be trying to chase him down. Although I say that Doc makes a mistake, and Dazzy Oz is now going to have a potential run on Doc coming into this, the right hand down the hill, and he should have that done. Or does he? Oh no, Doc! Look at that, hanging around the outside. That's going to compromise him on this exit. And Dazzy Oz is going to try and get alongside. Just really can't make a move here, but you can compromise the other guy. And unfortunately, that is contact between them. And someone else caught up in that dangerous GNS, unfortunately. And that's going to send Tom Bridle straight through. So Tom Bridle, the big winner of that, gains 3 positions. Pox as well gains a couple.
Yep, definitely.
Oh, that's a shame for Doc, as I think a sister teammate drives past.
And Heinze as well. Oh no, yeah, no, never mind. I was watching at something else. Never mind. Well,
I never mind anything.
Sansuke leads 3.4 seconds out of Cecil Vollmer. That has actually come down a little bit in the last few corners.
Yeah, well, this is the thing. Is Cecil Vollmer just going to be able to go absolutely hammer throw this all the way to the end? Is that what he's planning? Because he obviously had something in mind by staying out as long as he did. He'll have the same amount of fuel as everyone now. He has better tyres than the couple around him. Can he do something special here and chase down Sansuke to the end of the race. It'll be interesting. Sansuke, though, we know one of the faster guys, if not the fastest around here from we saw in practice. So not going to be easy for Sisu Voima.
No, definitely not.
Yeah.
And this lap will tell a lot how this race is going to go in the next 10 laps.
Yeah. Speaking of 10, why don't you run us down the top 10 going on to the last 10 laps?
Alright, that's very, very good. So, Sansuke leading the way. This is 2.9 seconds out of Sisu Voima, then non-runner dropping a little bit more back, 6.1 seconds, 6.2 seconds now behind. Jeff is in 4th, very strong race from him so far. Exit still not too far behind, but that gap has really not changed at all as he's exited having a half spin, but managing to recover. Sisu Voima, by the way, gained 8 tenths on that last lap on Sansuke. Then Bernard Vella in 6th position. We've got Matt in 7th. Just behind, I think that is Berserkmere, who will get lapped in a bit. Very unfortunate. David Siska in 8th. Keith Camilleri. And Evan, which is a surprise, I have to say, in 10th position, doing a very, very good job so far.
Certainly is. There's actually a few cars getting lapped around there. I believe the one around that wasn't Berserkmere. I believe it was Pops, unfortunately, for Pops. He is now in the pits.
Yeah.
Moving out of the way. So that's there's a few cars getting lapped out there. Probably not helped with a few of the incidents that have been happening. But yes, I tell you what. Just take a look at Sisu Voima's fastest lap.
47.5, wasn't it?
Yep. He is going for it. That was 8 tenths quicker than Sansuke. Now Sansuke, he's going to notice that. He's going to have seen that. He's going to have seen his relative drop down. He will know that Sisu Voima is coming for him, and that's going to put pressure on Sansuke. That's going to make it harder for him. Or maybe Sansuke thrives under the pressure and he's able to get the foot down and go faster. We'll see, but Sisu Voima is coming for him.
Yes, definitely. And it seems like that. Oh, there's a lap car. Well, not yet lap. Oh, this Microlander nearly getting lapped now. So he had some more issues, it seems like, along the line with Microlander after having an early pit stop. Obviously, he made a second pit stop, which was obviously not really required. Let's have a look. Another lap comparison. Sansuke crossing the line. 48.3 again. Sisu Voima 47.9. That's another 4 tenths. At the moment, he will definitely close in towards the end of the race. Question is, can he keep it in the 47s and keep it really together? Jeff and Exit are both in the 49s, but obviously Exit had that very, very poor lap. Bernard Vella somehow in 6th after these issues still. Definitely could have been more for him as well here today so far. Bernard Vella, Matt also in the... Yes, pretty much every single one is in the 49s. Sansuke is in the 48s and Sisu Voima in the 47s.
Yeah, it looks like the only person that's not in the 49s or better in the top 10 is Evan, who is 10th. As I say that, boom, there you go. Shuts me up with a 49.7. He jumps into it as well.
Nostra,
he will have
48.6.
Yeah, Nostra's good. So Zedian slowly catching Evan, but Nostra, he is catching Zedian. We know Nostra's fast. We saw it earlier. He had obviously some kind of issue to drop back further down. He started quite far down anyway.
Yeah.
Nice.
This is quite some group here behind Silver Arrows. Dazzy Oz, Ricardo Machero, Mr. Alcon, and Nicholas Domino at the end there. Might be a chance for Dazzy here into turn number 1. Will Silver Arrow go defensive? He will not. He's late on the brakes. He's having a look, but Silver Arrow saw him coming. Kept his nose clean, and will have the inside line for turn number 2, and will probably defend that position successfully. Yes, he will. It's going to be very, very, very interesting how this is going to pan out. Astrid Aslan disconnected from the session. Dazzy round on the inside again. Again, not quite able to make it stick. Again with the better exit. Again might go up the inside. Can he make the move stick now? And yes, he does. So, gaps.
Oh, Silver. Oh, he's held that well. He was on the gravel for a bit.
Oh, Ricardo Machero was very close as well.
And Mr. Alcon on Ricardo down the inside. Ricardo holding around the outside. Mr. Alcon now holding around the outside, and that's going to give Domino a potential chance as well. And he indeed makes that move. So Ricardo Machado, does he? Ricardo fighting back. He is fighting. He's attempting to fight back, but into this corner, it's very tricky.
Yeah, definitely.
And so Ricardo, unfortunately, after attempting to make a move on Silver Arrow, has now lost 2 positions as a result. Just never quite was able to get back onto the line. But oof, look at that again. Sisu Voima right on. Yeah, 7/10 that time. 7/10, and Sansuke right now, the car ahead Microlander, perhaps giving him a slipstream for this lap. It'll be interesting to see where Microlander pulls out of the way, because obviously he will have to. But this could be, if Sansuke's got this could just give him a little bit of slipstream, could help him on the lap time a little bit. He should be able to get some slipstream here, so this should help him against Sisu Voima for now, but it's only a short-term fix because Sisu Voima, well, he's quick. Let's see, lap times, here we go. Sansuke, Sisu Voima, 3/10 again, so it's sort of fluctuating between the big gaps and smaller gaps, but he's still faster every time. Let us see where this goes.
Microlander let Sansuke through on that particular lap, and yeah, as you said, Sansuke got a little bit of slipstream, gained another 2/10 back on his competitor. Still 7 long laps though. I don't really see that Sisu Voima is not able to close that gap down.
Well, he's been quicker every lap, so
yeah.
There's yeah, I mean, at that rate, even at 3/10 a lap, he would still catch him.
Oh my god, Nostra's made another mistake. He's now Evan as well.
Oh no, out of the top 10 goes Evan, so Zedian takes that top 10. Now Tom Briner was around somewhere. I think. I wonder if Tom Briner was ahead of Nostra, and now he's behind. So yeah, so Tom Briner obviously had some kind of error perhaps as well. So they're all sort of having areas in that sort of 10th position. Apart from Zedian, Zedian has now moved up into a very nice position for himself.
Yeah, definitely. Let's have a look. Sisu Voima and Sansuke once again. 1.4 seconds still. So this lap, Sisu Voima has not really gained much. Into the final corner we go. And we will have 6 laps to go in this first round in the Assetto Corsa PC League. Will it come down to the wire between Team Suomi teammates? It could be a 1-2 for them, it could be a finish lockout on the podium. Which is really not that surprising. 1/10 gain from Sisu Voima on that last lap. His times are dropping now a little bit as well. Since the tires are not quite that fresh anymore, that's a mistake from Sisu Voima. That's gonna give another 3/10 back to Sansuke. And he does not need those mistakes. He needs to keep it clean. He needs to keep it consistent. Do what he's done before if he wants to close it down.
Yeah, that is the key right now. It's the key for, to be honest, both of these guys. They have to keep it consistent. If Sansuke doesn't, Sisu Voima is going to catch. If Sisu Voima doesn't, he just won't catch. It's very important for both of them to just keep it exactly how they do. And Sisu Voima looks like he's gained a lot back in that first sector, or second sector, or in the first part of the second sector, I should say. Coming up, looks like it was about 3/10 back. I'm not 100% sure. So he's gained what he lost. Runs out wide. He uses a lot of the curb, but he's quick through there. Has he got? Did he have a corner cut warning there? I think he might have, because I think he used too much of the outside. He had to slow down a little bit. He definitely lifted off before the corner. He lost a couple of tenths through doing that, but not a huge amount of time. So he's still right there, but 5 laps. Oof, this is going to be interesting. Is he going to have, if he can continue gapping or closing the gap as he did in the earlier stages after he pitted, he'll be able to catch him. But if it's anything like the last lap or so, he might not have enough time.
No, I definitely agree, and I don't think he's gained anything on this lap. No, he's actually lost almost.
Lost a little bit, yeah. I mean, partly the mistake, partly the corner cut or the track extend warning. But with those errors, he still only lost less than a tenth. So if he's able to do that with the errors, if he's not having those errors, he should be right up there. Every lap he should be gaining, just based on what we've seen.
Yep, I definitely agree. Other battles still, well, reasonably close. It's Nick Meader, but
Sansuke's wide. Sansuke went wide. That's cost him quite a bit of time there. Sansuke is now within a second.
Oh, whoa. I just went away there for like 15 seconds and then something like that happens. 7 tenths.
The anti-curse.
The anti-curse. Hey, that's very good. That's very good. It's something different from now on. It's 8 tenths between the two now. Not sure if Season 1 will have any slipstream so far on this lap already.
I doubt it. I think get within about half a second, you start to feel it a little bit. Get within 3 tenths and you have a chance to make the move. It probably feels it a little bit. If you can stay within this sort of gap coming onto the pit straight, it's such a long straight that you can probably gain a little bit just by being that within those sort of 7 tenths. Kind of similar to iRacing's Formula Renault, actually, I think, in that regard. Probably a little bit. Probably have to be a little bit closer in these things.
Yeah, definitely. So 7 tenths.
Oh, well, he's done a really nice final corner. He gained some time, so he's definitely going to have some sort of slipstream a little bit anyway. Probably not much. Probably just like a smidgen, like on the precipice. Probably like gaining the tiniest amount, just there.
Turn on again. 4 laps to go. Can Sansuke hold on and get his next win in this series, or can Sisubama get his first win in this series? Would it be his first win ever? After we've seen him quite a lot on the podium in the last few races of last season when he joined the league. Oh, he's so committed through these corners.
He's so committed. I think Sansuke perhaps not as committed, but also perhaps just wary of what he did last lap. Doesn't want to make a mistake and run off the track, because that would gift it to Sisubama. But here we go, 4 tenths now. This is surely slipstream range. Obviously, around this part of the track, it means not much. You don't really gain anything, if at all. There's no point to having slipstream, but you're soon into an area where you do need it. So you just need to keep it close, keep it clean through these next few corners, and he'll have it. Sansuke actually very quick through this chicane. He's pulled away from Sisubama by a tenth just through there. That's very nice from Sansuke. Able to commit himself through that. Down the hill. Sisubama, I noticed last time, was quite quick through this section though. Just through this corner. There you go, quicker than Sansuke through that corner. And then this I believe is close enough for some slipstream range. It will not be close enough for a move into turn 1 this lap, but that's not what he needs right now. He doesn't need a move every lap. He just needs to be getting close. And Sansuke takes a slightly different line to Sisubama. Sisubama actually going to be compromised on the exit a little bit there. Yeah. Losing a little bit of time on this early part of the straight. But is he close enough to be... He is closer, but only a little bit. Is he gaining now on the straight? So this is the thing, his time still looks like it's moving up. The gap still looks like it's extending. Now it's coming down. A little bit, just a little bit. It's pretty much stalemate. He's lost the time at the early part of the straight, but now it's stalemate. So he just have a little bit of slipstream to pull him back to the speeds of Sansuke down the straight. Now we'll see. Will Sansuke... I saw last time Sansuke gained a little bit through this first couple of corners. It looks like Sansuke about equal through there, but here we go into the corners where Sisubama absolutely took massive amounts of time from Sansuke. And look, is he doing it again? He is. Not as much this time. Better exit from Sansuke, but still.
Look at the lapping cars ahead.
Yeah, the lapping cars up ahead. Or the back markers, we should say.
Oh, wide from Sisubama again in that corner.
That is wide. Yeah. It's Berserk and Riccardo Machera up ahead. Sister teammates, I believe, there.
Yeah, and they will shout in the Discord, get out of the way. This is a battle for the lead. And it could be a titanic one. It's only 2.5 laps to go.
And in contrast to last time, Sansuke was actually faster into that chicane than Sisubama was faster than Sansuke into that chicane. Coming up, as those two fighting, they are fighting still. And I think actually perhaps there's a little bit of a wiggle from Riccardo Machera. He needs to be careful. Sansuke right up behind him. I think there's just about enough time. He hasn't slowed Sansuke. He's probably actually helping Sansuke a little bit here. But he needs to be out of the way now. He needs to be out of the way into this corner. He's still there though. He's still not moving out of the way. He's going to leave it to the inside for Sansuke. That's both Shishiwama and Sansuke have to go tight.
This could be it.
This could be it. Sansuke possibly getting a little bit of slipstream now from Berserkman. This might just be the saviour that he needs. Berserkman obviously not going to pull straight out of the way. Now he's going to be moving out of the way. Now he's going to be lifting up. And I think that amount of slipstream possibly just saving Sansuke. Or is it? Shishiwama now gaining. Possibly a bit too far back to try and move. Is he going to try it anyway? Yes! Dive bomb down the inside. That's a tight... There's contact!
Oh, no.
Is that going to give the race to non-runner? Is he close enough?
No, he's not. Well, he might be.
Because what happens if Sansuke feels like he was at fault? He might be giving up time. Maybe... Oh, Shishiwama does! Oh, he's changing it around the outside of non-runner. But now this is a three-way fight, potentially. As Shishiwama, now there's Sansuke letting him through, perhaps.
Oh, a non-runner must be slapping himself. He had the opportunity there. He had the opportunity to get past Shishiwama, and it would have been the move on Sansuke there as well. And it was not quite enough. And now we've got the battle for the lead coming in, and Shishiwama has taken the lead after such an aggressive dive into Chanmon. The switchback from Sansuke didn't work. There was contact. Then Sansuke let him through again. And now it's gonna be maybe Shishiwama's first race victory of the season. Can he keep it together?
Well, that was all very exciting stuff, all happening at the same time. As I just sort of noticed, I was thinking, oh, is non-runner close enough? Maybe if non-runner hadn't had... Well, I mean, now he's thinking, what happens if he hadn't lost that time in the pits? He would be leading right now, theoretically. So, that's an interesting one. But it's now Sansuke. Like, does he now have the pace to stay with Shishiwama? He's in the slipstream. He is close enough for a slipstream. If he can exit and get through this corner, good. Shishiwama just trying to break the slipstream, it looks like, for his teammate. If he can get through here, good. He will have a run. He will have a run on Shishiwama.
Very good.
Shishiwama's gone out wide. That Sansuke is now in the slipstream. This is 3 tenths. That's all you need. You need to be within about 4 tenths. Shishiwama goes left. He goes right. He's weaving very slightly just to try and break that toe. Last lap. Here we go.
Holding the inside, can run the car out wide, and Sansuke will not get through on this particular occasion, but the lap is still on. Still going. Now those are the corners where Sansuke really needs to step up his game, and compared to the last few laps there, which is where Shishiwama was so strong. There's a little bit of a slide from Shishiwama, but he keeps it together on the exit of turn number 5. Gap between still 3 tenths. So committed from both of the drivers into the fast right-handers. There's a car off the track. That doesn't matter. We're concentrating on this battle. There are some back markers coming up. It's the same back markers again.
The same back markers. And they're going to catch them at the same place. Now, is this going to affect them at all? I think they might just be far enough ahead to not affect them through these corners. But Sansuke, is he going to be close enough to potentially get a run? Because the line is quite far down the straight. If he can be close enough into the final corner, I don't think he will be. And I think now, in fact, Sansuke is probably getting some slipstream from the cars ahead. That's just going to pull Sansuke away. But will they hold them up? Because they're right there. That's them. That's the back markers. They're in.
It's fine.
It's fine. It's fine. Shishiwama's going to get it. He's going to take the win.
Don't run on fuel, Shishiwama. There we go. Berserkner. Oh, it's gonna get lapped, and Shishiwama takes the win. First race victory for Shishiwama. What a finish here between him and his teammate, and he's just waiting in all of ecstasy. What an amazing finish between Shishiwama and Sansuke. Non-runner coming up in third, so close on capitalizing, and Jeff in an incredible fourth place as well. Exited very solid in fifth, and Bernard Vella will be the next car to cross the line. My God, those last 8 laps were so nail-biting.
They were okay. That was some great stuff. It's a shame that there was the contact between the two of them that kind of ended their battle, but man, that was some serious chasing down from Shishiwama to catch up to Sansuke, and then in the end finish ahead.
Yeah, definitely. And something must have happened, because Nostra is now in the top 10 and Zedian is in 16th place.
Oh, poor, unlucky for Zedian. He looked like he was going to get top 10. That top 10 was sort of in contention. No one really wanted it, it seems. Everyone was dropping in and out. In the end, Nostra does take it. Evan with a strong finish in 11th place.
Yeah, definitely. Good showing there from Stark Industries, from Matt and Evan at least. And you're going out as well, so have some fun there. Dangerous Janetta in 14th. John Bridle did, well, almost the best he could, really, after the contact with Microlander in the first few laps. Then Zedian could have been more for him as well. Heinze in 17th, quiet race for him. Same goes for Silver Arrow, Mr. Alcon, Berserkmere and Ricardo Machera, the guys who made it so interesting on these final couple of laps. And those are the final cars to go back, well, to finish this particular race. Doc will be the final one to do so. And we will now have a look at the race classifications if we're gonna go out of this particular thing. Yes, there we go. Race classifications, everyone. Here you can see it. Your race winner here today is Sisu Voima. His first victory ever in this league. And what a way to do it, against Sansuke, the man who was leading the race for so long. You have to be gutted for him as well. He tried his everything to keep that position, but this strategy from season 1 was just too good. Non-runner in 3rd, and we saw Jeff and Exit in the top 5, and you can see the rest here for yourself. Unfortunately, it was Pops, Klassens, Astrid Aslani, Quintin, Wilkie, and Mixta who did not finish the race. So, Phil, we are a little bit knackered, aren't we?
Are we?
It is, I don't know what to say anymore. Mugello could not have delivered a better race, really, to start this season.
See, this is why Mugello's a good track. I tell everybody this. No one believes me, but then you get to it and it's, look at this.
Yeah, definitely. Alright, let's go back to this graphic here. And, well, it is time for interviews. I mean, you've got to get the two who battled it out, really, towards the end of this race in here. Even though we know them, obviously, already in the commentary box. But hopefully they are still in the Discord and are able to talk to us. So should we drag Sisu Voima in here?
Yes. I'm gonna let you do the questioning. Yes.
Oh.
But I mean, I'm just gonna ask him what his favourite colour hair is.
All right. Can I?
No.
Wait. Wait. Can I do it? No, I can't. Oh, that's just... Come on, Discord. Can you drag him?
I'm dragging by his hair. Who are we dragging? Sisu Voima.
Sisu Voima, yes.
Okay.
My god. My Discord is just sometimes very weird. I don't know why it's happening sometimes. It's just really, you know, something is not working. Hello, Mr. Race Winner. What was that strategy called? That was absolute masterclass. Talk us through it.
It was same as last week in the pre-season race, but this time round it was much more closer. Phew.
When you came out of the pits behind Sansuke, did you think you could close it down? And what was your mind coming on to those laps where well, I don't know.
Like, when I saw he had pulled a big gap between me and him, I was like, no way I'm going to catch him. But then I saw the first few laps, I was like 1 second faster almost. So I thought maybe it's possible, and I started catching, and in the end, there was this one back marker and I lost like half a second during that lap, and I thought, okay, this was it. No way I'm going to catch him anymore. But luckily there were these two guys battling for the spot, and I thought, this is my moment. Now I can try. And I had the dive bomb in the first corner. I thought, oh yes, I got it, and then Sansuke had a lag spike and he crashed into me and almost lost it for non-runner, but
Yeah, that was very, very close. I thought we thought for a moment non-runner might even take the lead of the race, but it was so you just about managed to get ahead of him.
yeah, it was so close. I can't believe it.
Well, you put on a show for us really in these last 7 hours. It was nail biting, and yeah, well, congrats really on that amazing victory. It's gonna be double points for you as well. I mean, that must be feeling even better.
Yeah, that's feeling really good, but unfortunately I'm not able to compete in all the races, so I think there is not a big chance for me to win this championship. So
well, at least have fun in the races. You are here, and we definitely gonna enjoy you watching. So yeah, again, congrats really, and we will see you in the next one.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay. Oh, now the dragging is working in again. There we go. And let's have Sansuke in here as well. Second driver tonight. And another Finnish guy, Sansuke. I'm not sure how you're feeling. How do you feel?
Well, it was very exciting. Very, very exciting. I knew that he might do overcut because he did that in test race as well. But I didn't think it is that good, to be honest.
I mean, when you when you went into the pits and you saw Simulazioni coming out behind you by, I don't know what it was it 4 seconds or something like that, did you actually think there would be any chance he would catch you?
Yeah, because the fuel, when you have like 10 liters more, it actually counts a lot, and he was quite similar in pace in the first stint, even though he had more fuel, so I thought that yeah, he will have a chance because he also had fresher tires.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you looked so fast. You took pole position. No, you didn't take pole position, but you took the lead of the race very, very early on. You were so good in the practice. Does it is it a little bit disappointing maybe that you did not get the win here today, even though second place is still good, especially with double points?
Yeah, especially because I lost to Sisu. I really want to beat him if anyone. So. But it was really good race, even though there wasn't that much action. But I really needed to push all what I had, all the race.
Yeah, I mean, we really enjoyed watching it. You put on the show really for us. So yeah, I mean, once again, congrats on second place, even though it's maybe not what you quite hoped for, but still, yeah, congrats and good luck for the next few races.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, I'll move you back down to the others. And then we have one final interview spot left. Evan is ready, if you want to.
I think Evan would be a good choice, actually. He had a good race, almost top 10.
Yes. Alright, let's get Evan here, to have a third interview. Hello, Mr.
We're going to interrupt his conversation.
Sorry. Why is he
alright.
He needs to be ready.
Hello. Hello.
Hello. We were really impressed with you today. You started, I don't know, you started outside of the top 20, I think, and you just carved your way through cars everywhere. How did that race go for you?
It was pretty fun. Avoided the quite big crash in the middle of the lap. Avoided that. I maintained my tires. It was I managed to grind the stint out for quite long, and when I pitted about midway, came out in about 12th, got up to 10th, and then had a really good battle with someone. Can't remember.
Was it Zedian? I'm not so sure anymore.
It was quite early on I had the battle. But,
okay.
We were really, really close. We were like in centimeters away from hitting each other. And then I was in 10th, spun for the first time in the race at the last corner with like 5 laps to go. But nose got past. I was under threat from Tom Bridle, but he spun at the last corner, and someone in front ran out of fuel. So I ended up 11th in my first race, so very pleased with that.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, what made you so much more confident really than we saw like you in the preseason races?
Practicing a lot more. I dedicated myself to a couple of hours practice last night. In fact, I've never done a league race around Mugello. I've never really strung 2 laps around this track before last night. So I had to learn the track and get up to speed, and really enjoyed it.
Or can we expect something similar for you in the next few races then as well?
Oh yeah, you could expect even better, considering we'll be on tracks that I know, especially with Road Atlanta in mid-season, where I'll win that race.
Oh, we're gonna look.
Might as well just put you down for that already.
All right. Just
Thank
get
you.
Evan 50 points already.
Yes.
That's good. All right. Well, good race for you, really. Congrats, and yeah, good luck for the next few races.
Thank you very much.
Okie dokie. I'm gonna get you back here. He had such a lovely conversation with us, so I'm gonna check him there again. Phil.
Yes.
Round number 1 in the books. 9 more to go, longest season we will ever have in this particular league. Any final comments, stuff?
Any fun? Well, I mean, we saw a great race, didn't we? Great battle for the lead. We saw a hilarious battle of attempting everyone to try to not finish in the 10th position. Nobody wanted to finish there. Some good results for a few people out there, actually. Perhaps some unusually low down as well. Obviously, there was that big crash at the start. We hope that doesn't happen again. Especially, it's always bit of a shame when it happens in a race like this, especially when there's only the single race. You know, because that's pretty much it. Once that happens to you, you kind of ruin the entire thing. But take away that crash, and we had some great racing between pretty much everybody. Everyone. There's a lot of respectful racing. There was no real one. You know, there were some errors here and there in Wheel to Wheel, but no one was ever doing anything over the line. As far as I could see, everyone was doing it nicely, and we had some good times, some good racing, and I look forward to the next one.
Yeah, I definitely do as well. Thanks everyone in the chat as well who were just there and watching and enjoying the race as much as we did. And thanks to all the drivers who participated, thanks to all the coordinators, thanks to all the graphic designers who made this possible. We have this league on board again. And yeah, with that, really, that has been it. That has been round number 1 of the season. We will see you next week once again for round number 2. Goodbye.
Bye.